up, Raider Nation? It's your boy Simone Raider back at it again with another video, and episode 3 of Hard Knocks is finally over, and another episode of A Hard Knock Life is finally here. So let's talk about it. So we start off in a Raiders meeting, and Derek Carr calls out Jon Gruden to come out and sing, and I'm over there like kind of confused because I'm like, okay, they're actually gonna have Jon Gruden go up, but it wasn't really Jon Gruden. It was his impersonator, Frank Caliendo, who came up there and had a real funny moment just to start off this show. And him impersonating Jon Gruden is pretty flawless in itself and is funny as well. I love the way he interacted with everybody. He even shouted out Hunter Renfro out there, you know, when he sang his Lean On Me song.
Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. Fuck!
It's kind of crazy just seeing it and seeing the rest of the team enjoy it, and Jon Gruden himself was pretty fun to see. The thing I love is in every episode is when Jon Gruden comes out and he tells the team, yo, knock on wood if you're with me, and I'm literally over here watching and I'm like I'm like, well, why the hell am I doing? I'm not even in there. But that was pretty funny in itself, and they brought Frank Caliendo's speech into the intro of Hard Knocks, which was, like I said, pretty cool to see. Then we get into Antonio Brown's helmet saga and everybody talking about it. Of course, the media has been talking about it for the past week, and he's been the talk of the town, and everybody's been getting on Antonio Brown because he wants to play in the helmet he's always been playing in. So far in Hard Knocks, I love all the tracks that they've been playing, from last week's Metallica to having Childish Gambino the week before, and even putting on 21 Savage a lot, and like kind of transitioning it into the Antonio Brown segment of the show was pretty cool to see. And I love the track as well. It's just smooth. Everything is smooth, and the editing crew at HBO, man, they're doing such a great job over there. I kind of wish I was working for them, but maybe one day. We also got to see Drew Rosenhaus's interaction with Jon Gruden, talking about the whole Antonio Brown helmet saga and just the foot thing, and you know how Antonio Brown's been the talk of the town. And I like the one-on-one conversation with him and Jon Gruden, because he basically explains and tells Jon Gruden, you know, that they're on the same page. They're not trying to do anything to distract from the team, even though it is distracting with the media. The fact that him and Jon Gruden are on the same page shows that, you know, the media is basically blowing this whole thing out of proportion and really trying to make a story out of this whole thing, which there shouldn't be. As long as the Raiders and AB are on the same page, then we're good out there. You know, the media obviously is going to make a bad name out of Antonio Brown, but we'll get back to that later. And now we get to the interaction with Jonathan Abram in the Madden rating simulators, or the Madden rating people, the people that rate the Madden players. And he's basically telling them, you guys really have us real low. From Jonathan Abram, LaMarcus Joyner, Carl Joseph, like they basically sleeping on this whole team. And this segment actually led into something else, to a player that a lot of Raider Nation knows and can't wait to see. The Madden people basically asked most of the players on the team who is one guy that they should look out for, someone that's not really out there that everybody should know about. And it was a great transition into talking about Darren Waller, our X Factor tight end that we brought in last year. Darren Waller's whole story is pretty crazy in itself, and the fact to see him on the team from where he's been at is really great to see. And he's a guy that's really on the right track to becoming a really great player. And obviously a lot of us Raider Nation, we already know Darren Waller, and he's one guy that might fill that position that we've been needing, you know, after letting go of Jared Cook. It's really great to see that we got to highlight that, and a lot of other people around the NFL media and even other fans get to know who Darren Waller is. Now, this guy has been clean for 2 years. He previously played for the Ravens, but he even admitted he was not on the right track and everything was going downhill until he became clean. And now 2 years in, he's on a team and may become the starting tight end for this team, a huge X factor for this offense. It's really great that they got to talk about it for a bit, about his rehab and him being clean and him becoming an underrated player for this team. I love seeing that on the show. Now we move on to the backup quarterbacks and who will be backing up Derek Carr. I know Jon Gruden has been frustrated with these two during training camp with Glennon and Peterman, but you know, come game time, they actually been doing really great. But I feel like Jon Gruden gets on them so much, makes them want to be better and not fuck up. And then we get to another funny segment that I had me cracking up out of nowhere. Jon Gruden had a meeting and said that he wants bigger, faster, stronger players on this team. And then he puts a picture of Hunter Renfro and he's like, that's why we got Hunter Renfro. It was pretty funny in itself. Hunter Renfro was basically the center of jokes throughout the whole episode. I know he has a sense of humor, so he goes along with it. As much as they get on Hunter Renfro is going to be a key part of this offense, especially in the slot. He may not look like the biggest, strongest, fastest dude out on the field, but he makes plays, and that's why we're all excited to see him. But trust me, on Monday Night Football, we're gonna see a lot of Hunter Renfro out on the field. Now, last week I had a lot of high praise for Richie Incognito and his maturity on this team and how he presents himself. And this week we got a little clip of him and Antonio Brown, talking, chatting it up on the sideline at practice. And man, I love the chemistry between him and Antonio Brown. These are two guys from two different sides of the spectrum. Antonio Brown being one of the most dominant wide receivers in the league, and Richie Incognito, one of the most dominant offensive linemen in the league as well, but also a guy that's hot-headed. Be on the same team, on the same field, and just interacting with each other, just having a good time.
How is it though? How you like it?
Oh, it's good. It's good. I like the offense. It's been a good setup, man. Everybody's been super welcoming.
Embrace it, right?
For sure. For sure.
This team, man, I see nothing but good vibes all around. I know the media outside want to paint us in a different picture, but when you watch this Hard Knocks, everybody seems to be enjoying each other's vibes around the training camp. I know a lot of media people out there is probably getting mad because they don't see a lot of drama going behind the scenes. Everybody's actually getting along. For me and for Raider fans, we're happy to see that. I know a lot of y'all don't have nothing to talk about. That's why they want to talk about Antonio Brown like every single day and talk about how these Raider fans are getting frustrated, which we're not. And some are, but most of us aren't. After the past 2 weeks, we didn't get to see a lot of Antonio Brown. But in this episode, we got a lot of Antonio Brown, from his helmet saga to him interacting with the coach and even with some of the players. And then he had an intimate moment that, man, just talking to the Hard Knocks crew, how the league and how the media perceives him as the bad person of the league just because he wants to do things his way. He's a guy that's proved it time and time again that he's been the best receiver in the league. They're making him out to be the enemy of the fucking state. And that's really true, because everywhere you look, if you're not a Raider fan, there's some AB fans out there, but mostly 98% of the world around the NFL hate Antonio Brown.
Felt like I was the enemy of the fucking state. Fuck, you see how the world just slandered me and I just took that shit.
And for no reason. Everybody loves to hate Antonio Brown, and he takes that negative energy and then he stores it. Trust me, come game one, he's finna ball out and this team finna be booming. I know there's a lot of drama that's going around, but like I said, for me, I'm not worried about it at all. Whatever happens, happens. As long as he's on this team, I'm gonna support him 100%. I see that this team really is behind Antonio Brown, and I know Antonio Brown sees it, and I know he appreciates it. So, once it's all said and done and he's finally on the field, he's gonna give this team all he has. And trust me, NFL is gonna be put on notice, and you're gonna be seeing no one talking shit about Antonio Brown in this Raiders team. We get a little time with Luke Wilson and his dad on a boat, sailing down the bay. He's one of the tight ends fighting for a position on this roster, and for me, I'm kind of rooting for him to make the team. We have a lot of great tight ends on this squad, and we have 6 overall, and we're only gonna have 4, so it's gonna be kind of tough to see who's gonna make the team. Now we get into the Raiders versus the Cardinals game. You guys already know what happened. We took the W. We got to highlight a lot of things that we already talked about, like Mike Glennon overthrowing Darren Waller on a wide open play to him just lighting it up since then. And then we get into Nathan Peterman, coming in and lighting it up as well. But most of the stuff I want to highlight in this game is all the interactions on the sideline was just great to see. And it was actually entertaining to watch as well. Yes, the game was entertaining, but just seeing the behind the scenes on the sideline was pretty fun to see. Can we talk about this offensive play calling? And John Gruden's offense is smooth, man. It's flawless out there. You guys see it, like everybody on the sidelines even talking about how great the play calling is.
Yeah! Good ass calls. You killing shit. When are you ready? I'm fucking ready yesterday. I'm ready for your ass too, coach. That's some good calls. You can use my helmet, man.
I know Antonio Brown is excited to get started with this team and play on that offense with John Gruden calling the plays because, like I said, the whole offensive scheme was flawless. And another good thing I like hearing from Gruden was good plays equals great results, I believe so.
If we can run good plays into good looks with good players, we're going to get great results. It's over.
If there was one player I could highlight on the sidelines was Antonio Brown on the sideline. His interaction with everybody was funny. He was out there like, hey, we got the drip. Hey, who need the drip? Hey, he need the drip.
Man, Connie need the drip. I see it in his eyes. He need the drip. The drip. The drip drop. The drip drop on the rocks. Oh my God, I got the drip.
If you watch Space Jam, they had the secret stuff. And that was basically what Antonio Brown had on the side. He called it the drip and was offering it to a lot of other players on the team, which was funny. He was like, bruh, he need the drip. Drip drop.
The drip drop.
Jonathan Abram with Tahir Whitehead and Vontaze Burfict had a good interaction as well. They're talking about like swallowing bubblegum, which is funny in itself. Even Vontaze Burfict kind of chimed in on it. I ain't gonna lie, I've done it before in my lifetime, so I ain't one to judge. The last thing I want to highlight on the sidelines with Antonio Brown was him and Jonathan Abram, like talking about this team and how great this defense is. And Jonathan Abram was talking about this offense, and he was like, bruh, they sleeping on this offense. AB was like, really? Keep them sleep. They all sleeping. But Antonio Brown's like, keep them sleep.
Keep them sleep.
Listen, I'm looking at
Keep them sleep.
They ain't ready for what's gonna come. They only got a snippet of the starters. And if you see how great the play calling is with our backups, our second and third stringers, bruh, imagine with our starters with Derek Carr, Antonio Brown, Tyrell Williams, Darren Waller, Josh Jacobs. I can go on for days. It was a great victory from all phases of the game. We raised the bar from the last week. Now it's going into Canada and raising the bar one more level. I really can't wait for the season to start already because we're really looking good, and I know it's only preseason, so don't knock me, but so far I'm loving what I see out there. One thing I took from his speech at the end of the game that I loved was, we're a bunch of weird people. And it's true, because when you look at all the characters on his team, you look at it and like, bro, it doesn't make any sense. A lot of people from outside is gonna be like, why do you have these players on your team? Like, they're all gonna be a distraction. AB, Vontaze Burfict, Richie Incognito. We're a bunch of misfits on this team. And to top that off, we're all Raiders. And the fact that we're seeing good vibes between all these different personalities is great to see. I really can't wait till the season starts and we can finally shut up the haters. They're all talking right now, and most of the subjects are about AB. And a lot of people like to, you know, make up their own stories. Let them talk. They got all offseason to talk. Because once Monday Night Football comes and the real game starts, they gonna be shut and we finna ball out. That's all, Raider Nation. That's all I have for you guys today. Another great episode of Hard Knocks. Antonio Brown was the center of this show, and we got a lot of Darren Waller as well. And I thank you guys, all the viewers out there that's watching my video today. You guys show a lot of love to this channel, and I appreciate that. If I forgot anything from the show, drop it down in the comments below and let your boy know. If you guys enjoyed this video, then smash that like button. I would gladly appreciate it. And if this is the first time you're watching this video, then please hit that subscribe button and hit that notification icon button just to notify you guys when I upload more videos just like this one. That said, until the next video, Raider Nation, this your boy Samoan Raider, and your boy is, yeah.